With the character roster finalised, at least for now, it's time to talk about the important matters in Smash Bros, what everyone cares about, and what I mean by everyone, I think I mean probably just me.
We still care about Final Smashes, don't we guys? Yeah, of course you do. The first thing I wanted to know when each new character was announced was what crazy attack the game gave them when they picked up a Smash Ball. And if there was one thing they didn't change from Brawl to Smash Bros 4, it's the satisfaction of pulling off a final smash and positively trouncing your opponents. Some may have changed, for better or for worse, and most stayed the same, but my god, they're still a lot of fun. And today I'm ranking 5 of them on a mix of effectiveness, how it refers back to the series it comes from, and some flashing lights won't be overlooked either. I think I've mentioned something like that before. Hey kids, do you like speed? Not the drug, let's have at least some standards on this show. Nah, you like to go fast, like really fast? Well, when you use Sonic, there's only one place you can go when you pick up a Smash Ball.
Not sure how much involvement Sega had in deciding what Sonic's final smash would be, but I like to think, and this is going to be pretty much me on this one, that if Sega had any decision on what they were going to have for Sonic's final smash, they'd do something dumb, like, I don't know, Sonic's car in Sega All-Stars Racing or something dumb like that. Though, to be honest, there's only one place you can go with Sonic, and that's Super Sonic.
Sometimes you just gotta go fast, and it's safe to say that Super Sonic delivers on this one very nicely. As a transformation, it's actually quite basic. I know it applies to Sonic as a crazy mega ultra form made possible by Chaos Emeralds, but all you do is bash into opponents as a yellow Sonic. At least Pikachu becomes a ball of electricity. And even so, Super Sonic is so fast that it becomes a challenge in itself to control the guy. Though I guess it makes it hard for your opponents to know where you're going if you don't know where you're going. But still, Super Sonic hits very hard, and if you can juggle some opponents, there's not a lot they can do to stop it. A little basic for what it is, but very effective.
Let me paint you the scene. I can't paint, I can't draw, so I'll put a video like there or something. So, it's E3 2006. There's a new trailer coming for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. We played Melee, it was amazing. Hype is pretty big right now. So, we watched the trailer. We got new characters like Meta Knight and that guy from Kid Icarus everybody forgot about. But then, the show is stolen by Samus.
Ever since Samus unleashed this frankly insane charge shot, I've been in love with Samus' Zero Laser. Because what does a dangerous intergalactic bounty hunter and the most iconic female character in video games need above all else? An absolutely humongous final smash that covers most of the screen and annihilates everyone in front of you. As sights go in Smash Bros, this is one of the most jaw-dropping ones around. Improved upon in Smash 4 now that Samus doesn't transform into a Zero suit afterwards, so you don't have to give up using Samus to do so. You get caught in this, you're pretty much dead, especially because this giant laser beam actually sucks you in a little. There might be a small window of opportunity to sneak away from it, but you've really got to get a move on. Otherwise, no, not a chance. It's amazing how the little things can turn a normal move into something incredible, something more. Most of the moves in Smash Bros are meant as direct references to bits and pieces from the relevant series, but they ramp it up for final smashes as you'd probably expect them to. And Mega Man goes a bit crazy with this. The original reveal trailer made sure this much was crystal clear. But man, that final smash.
Mega Man as a series is a bit of a sleeping giant, and you have to imagine that because it's got so much history and so many games in its roster that it's not likely to be allowed to rot and die by Capcom, and it's got a lot to it. It's a pretty big name, and it's nice to see that at least Nintendo and Namco Bandai appreciate what Mega Man was.
Right, let's just stop there. Look at this picture. Look at this fucking picture. Remember all those Mega Man games? The Classic Series, the X Series, Battle Network, Star Force, motherfucking Mega Man Legends? This isn't some flash-in-the-pan collection of viral video games. It's a fucking saga at this stage. So when I see Mega Man's Final Smash simply and painfully titled Mega Legends, I get both this surge of nostalgia and deep sadness that Capcom doesn't do more with this. As a move, it's your standard trapping final smash along the same kind of lines as Duck Hunt Duo and Captain Falcon. You're not going anywhere until you take a buttload of damage. But not many see you take damage from 5 different forms of the same character. Black Hole Bomb from Mega Man 9 is a nice touch too. Marth and Lucina's final smash is very... yeah. Critical hit is scary. Other final smashes will do a lot of damage, in fact most of them will KO an opponent with high enough damage. But I think I'm right in saying that critical hit is the only genuine one-hit kill final smash in the game. It isn't the damage that gets you, it's the insane knockback, and there's very few scenarios where you won't be launched straight off the stage. Factor in some huge horizontal range and being able to kill all 3 foes at once, and this is one formidable final smash on 2 characters who already can get a lot of work done very quickly. They could give this sort of thing to Peach and make her a powerful threat.
And the best thing about Critical Hit, or one of the other very good things, because it is a very good final smash, despite all its application and practical uses, it still maintains a reference to Fire Emblem in there, and every time you hit someone with this thing, they are going to die, and you see their hit points just go by as it would in a Fire Emblem game. It's just the little things, so worth it.
Let me take you back to a video I made over a year ago. I made predictions on what characters I honestly thought would make it into Smash Bros. 4, of which 1 actually got into the final roster. But around that time, I was hearing that Chrom was all but confirmed to be in Smash Bros. 4. He would have probably made it on the video otherwise. And as it turned out, he did make it in, just not where you might think.
In Fire Emblem Awakening, there's this little function in battles called Pair Up, which allows you to put 2 units together to make them, I wouldn't say twice as strong, but it combines their strengths. It allows them more chances to block attacks and to counteract them. I didn't expect to see this in Smash Bros.
I can think of many people who would have liked Chrom to be playable in Smash Bros. 4, but considering we got Lucina and Robin instead, I guess I can live with that. And since Lucina was always going to be a glorified Marth clone with an identical final smash, you can piece together who was ever going to get a huge reference to Fire Emblem Awakening in their final smash. But Pair Up is more than that. Sure, it's great to see Chrom show up for a couple of seconds. Sure, it all makes for a hell of a light show, complete with powerful magic, Chrom doing his thing, and a fucking slam dunk at the end. But I like this one so much because how it reminds me of Ike's final smash. And while Great Ether will always do more damage, I think I prefer this because how it relates back to Fire Emblem more, and honestly, I just think it looks a bit flashier.
This has been RabbidLuigi, and I'm just thinking, admittedly quite far down the road, but what happens if Chrom gets into the next Smash Bros. Game? Does Robin's final smash change? Does he get a new one? I mean, I can't see why you change it because it's pretty good, but if you don't change it, then you have 2 Chroms on the screen at the same time. If Chrom is hurting Chrom, it could get a bit weird. Is this speculating fun?
What topic do you want to see on the next top 5? Leave a suggestion in the comments below and follow me on Twitter, or I'll be taking my favourite suggestions and putting them to a vote over there. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Hello guys, how are we doing? You might have missed it in the last top 10, but there's a little footnote which just said that my 3DS capture card has finally turned up, which means at the end of the month I can do my Pokemon top 10, which I've been thinking about for a little while now. This top 5 had like a little test run of all the 3DS footage with like the Smash Bros stuff. That was all mine, it's wonderful. Next week I'm doing a top 5 on Overworlds as requested by people who are voting on the topics, and there's a lot to talk about of Overworlds and that should keep me nicely occupied. And hopefully it should do for you as well.